Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to uncover the secrets of the Bible? The history of forbidden texts is long and complicated, but we're about to dive into the mysterious world of the Apocrypha. From the Apocalypse of James to the Book of Adam, these banned texts hold valuable insights into the beliefs and practices of ancient civilizations. Get ready to be captivated by the stories of these forbidden books as we reveal the forbidden texts from the Bible no one is supposed to know. Well, the history of forbidden texts of the Bible is long and complicated. The texts that were left out of the Bible are commonly known as the Apocrypha. It's important to know that various people between roughly 1200 BC and the 1st century AD wrote the books we know as the modern version of the Bible. Many church leaders and other officials have debated which works they should include in this influential book. The debate started around 300 AD with a lot of editing. This continued until the 16th century when Martin Luther published the first German translation of the Bible. Throughout all these years, the many translations and different interpretations have changed the Bible a lot. Some later translators didn't agree with certain parts, so they took them out. According to Jason Combs from Brigham Young University, a professor specializing in ancient Christianity, there were hundreds of works that were skeptical which never made it into the canon. Many of them were lost, while others were preserved as forbidden books. So how was it decided which books were allowed in the Bible and which weren't? There were three main criteria. It depended on who wrote the specific book, how old that book was, and how appropriate the text was regarding the Christian teaching of the time. If the church leaders didn't agree with the message, they didn't include it. The Apocrypha comprises non-canonical books mostly from the 2nd century AD that refer to Jesus and his apostles. Some were published between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Others are considered false texts, expanded stories by Jewish and Christian writers that exaggerated and dramatized earlier parts of the Bible. From the Gospel of Peter to the Gospel of Mary, a lot of biblical texts have been hidden for centuries, kept out of churches and out of the public eye. One such forbidden text is the Apocalypse of James, divided into two books. It was rejected when the great emperor Constantine of the Roman Empire first standardized the Christian religion between 306 and 337 AD. It was Constantine who instructed the bishops to take all available Christian writings in circulation and compress them into the New Testament, which was presented to the world in the year 367 AD by Athanasius, Bishop of Alexandria. The books aren't that dissenting. It just details the teachings that Jesus gave to his brother James, and perhaps that's why it wasn't included in the Bible. Another forbidden text is the Book of Adam, another version of the story that appears in Genesis of the conflict involving Adam, Eve, and Satan. The story from the Book of Adam was thrown out, and it's called the conflict of Adam and Eve with Satan. It was written in the 6th century. What makes this book so unique is that it concentrates on Adam's story. The story goes into more detail about the fall of man and the early days of humanity and the cause of evil in the world. These forbidden texts have been hidden for centuries, but they offer valuable insights into the beliefs and practices of ancient civilizations. They offer a window into the past and help us understand the world in which our ancestors lived in. Even though these books were banned, they continue to captivate the minds of many, and their stories will continue to be passed down for generations to come. That's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Meet you in the next one. Until then, stay safe.